Today, we're going to go on an incredible journey. It's a journey that every single one of us has taken, but here's the crazy part. None of us can actually remember it. We're diving deep into the first trimester of human development, and let me tell you, it's a story of breathtaking complexity that all unfolds in just 12 short weeks. So where does it all begin? Well, it all starts with a race. A race against absolutely impossible odds. I mean, forget the Olympics, forget the Tour de France. The most critical race you ever participated in happened before you were even, well, you. And the starting line was unbelievably packed. 350 million. Just let that number sink in for a second. That's about how many competitors are at the starting line in a single moment. It's this immense, microscopic marathon where only one, just one, can win the ultimate prize of creating a new life. The scale is just staggering. Okay, so let's start right at the beginning. These first 4 weeks are really all about setting the stage. And what's wild is that for the first couple of weeks, a pregnancy hasn't even technically begun. It's more like a period of really careful preparation for the main event. And it all plays out in 5 critical steps. First up, the body prepares and releases an egg. That's our starting line. Then, the race is on. Millions of sperm begin their journey toward it. Out of all of them, a single winner breaks through, fertilizing the egg. But wait, the journey's not over. This brand new fertilized egg has to travel back down the fallopian tube and finally find a safe home, implanting itself into the nutrient-rich wall of the uterus. And just like that, that fertilized egg gets a new name. It's a zygote. This is it, the very first single-celled version of you. And as it's making its journey, it's already started this frantic process of dividing, doubling from 1 cell to 2, then 4, then 8, and on, all while it's on the move. So after this tiny traveler, which has now grown into a ball of cells we call a blastocyst, implants itself into the uterine wall around week 4, something truly amazing happens. A chemical signal gets sent out, a message that can finally, for the first time, be detected in the outside world. This signal comes from the placenta, which is just starting to form. As its outer layer of cells burrows deep into the uterine wall, its very first job is to start producing a hormone called HCG. And that is the exact hormone that pregnancy tests are designed to pick up, turning a quiet biological process into life-changing personal news. All right, so with a secure home base established, the next few weeks bring an absolute explosion of development. This is the point where the fundamental blueprint of a human being starts to rapidly, and I mean rapidly, take shape. In week 5, the very first major system to show up is the heart and a basic circulatory system. And there's a totally brilliant reason for this. Think of it like a construction crew building the highways first. You absolutely need a supply chain to deliver oxygen and nutrients to all the other building sites where organs are about to be formed. And get this, the entire embryo at this point is no bigger than a sesame seed. Now, tucked away inside, something truly monumental is about to happen. A switch gets flipped, and a process that will continue for a lifetime is just beginning. By week 6, that tiny, primitive heart begins to beat. It's already pumping at around 100 times per minute. It's a rhythm so distinct that it can sometimes be seen on an ultrasound. The very first real, tangible sign of a bustling new life taking form. Weeks 6 and 7 are just a flurry of nonstop activity. The brain and nervous system are really the main event here, growing at an incredible pace. You can actually see the very beginnings of what will become the eyes and inner ears. The head is noticeably huge compared to the body, and that's all because of this intense brain development. By the end of this phase, we've grown from a sesame seed to the size of a lentil. Now we enter a truly transformative period. If the last phase was all about laying down the foundation, this phase is about seeing a recognizable structure start to emerge. The embryo starts to look distinctly more human. The difference that just 1 week can make is absolutely astonishing. At week 7, you've just got these simple limb buds. They're basically just little nubs. But by week 8, those have already lengthened and divided into arm, leg, hand, and foot segments. You can even see the faint outlines of tiny fingers and toes. It's an incredible leap in almost no time at all. At the very same time, something really fundamental is happening with the skeleton. At first, it isn't bone at all. It's a soft, flexible framework made of cartilage. But around week 8, this process called ossification kicks in, where that cartilage blueprint slowly starts to harden and transform into real bone. Week 9 is just packed with milestones. For the very first time, tiny movements might be visible on an ultrasound. All the fingers and toes are now fully present, and inside, the diaphragm forms, creating separate cavities for the heart and lungs up top and the stomach down below. Everything is really starting to find its proper place. So, to put all of this incredible complexity into perspective, after the heart is beating, the brain is developing, and limbs are forming, after all of that has happened, the entire being is only about the size of a single green olive. It's just amazing. And that brings us to the home stretch of the first trimester. These last 2 weeks are all about refinement, about putting the final touches on the foundational systems that are now all in place. The proportions at this stage are pretty unique. In week 11, the head makes up about half the entire length of the fetus. This just underscores how much energy and how many resources are being poured into developing the brain, the body's all-important command center. And would you believe it, we've got another growth spurt. Just 2 weeks after being the size of an olive, the fetus is now roughly the size of a strawberry. The pace of growth throughout this entire period is just phenomenal. So, by the end of week 12, where do things stand? Let's do a quick status check. All the major organs, they're formed. The lungs are complete. The skeleton is still mostly soft cartilage, but that hardening process is well underway. Even early reflexes are developing. If the forehead is touched, the fetus will turn its head. The entire essential structure is there. And that, honestly, is probably the most profound takeaway from all of this. In just 12 weeks, starting from a single cell, the complete and intricate blueprint for a human being has been fully assembled. This means the riskiest phase of construction is over. The next 6 months are really just about scaling up and maturing everything that's already been built. So it really leaves you with this one thought. Long before you had a name or a thought or a single memory, you were on this exact journey. A silent, frantic, and absolutely miraculous process of becoming. It's the universal story that belongs to every single one of us.